Okay, you've had it. It is time for new gloves. You are beat down. You're done. Let's see if we can order up a new pair. What? Out of business? No! Hold me, DB8 gloves. Hold me. Oh, never mind, you stink. A couple weeks ago, I discovered that my favorite gloves, the DB8s by Maroon Bell, were no longer being produced because the company went out of business. So I've gone on a journey to find replacements for those awesome gloves that were the best gloves for my work. I will show you the contenders and who is in line to replace them, and we will see over time if any of them can hold up to the mighty DB8s. A little background about these gloves, which are now tattered and falling to pieces. They were the DB8 first responder gloves by Maroon Bell. Now, Maroon Bell was based out of Colorado, but I kind of got duped when I first ordered them because I was under the impression that they were made in the USA. However, they were made in Pakistan. But I didn't find that out until after I got the gloves. So I already had them. I decided I would give them a chance anyways. And lo and behold, they were the best gloves that I've ever used. They were a full grain water buffalo with extra water buffalo reinforcement in the palms. Actually, hold on. I actually have the last pair that I got that's brand new still. They're water buffalo, but they have an extra layer of water buffalo reinforcement in the palms, and they came with the tech fingers. I never used those in my line of work, however. They also came with the carabiner. Now, what's special about these gloves is they're Kevlar lined. So they have that ANSI A9 cut-proof lined Kevlar steel fabric. Nothing gets through these, and they were great. And they actually kept my hands warm during the winter and dry, surprisingly. Usually leather gloves don't keep my hands dry because I'm wet all the time. But I use these gloves for handling wire rope or steel cable, as some people call. And that stuff will tear through gloves like no tomorrow. So I handled, like I said, wire rope, steel cables, steel hooks. A lot of hydraulic fluid got spilled on these. A lot of garbage got touched and picked up with this stuff. It's kind of gross. That's why the other ones are so disgusting and tore up. My work does actually provide us with gloves, but it's this crap. And these might be good for some lines of work, but these are not good for my work. Not at all. I would rip through these gloves maybe 2 days. This stuff right here, the wire rope would just tear right through this. And then they also have this option, which is some random unbranded steer hide. And this stuff is thin, and I tear through this in like 3 or 4 days too. It's just terrible stuff. So I had to go out on a journey to find better gloves when I found the Maroon Bell DB8s. And like I said, they're no longer available. So today we're going to go on a journey to show you what I'm going to try to use to replace. First, I will show you their brothers. These were also DB8 gloves. These were the ranch hand farm gloves. They were also a buffalo leather, but it was thin. It was 1 millimeter full grain buffalo leather with the reinforced palms. They also had the smart finger for the devices, but like I said, I didn't use those. I still don't use those inside the truck. And the low profile on the wrist, and they're supposedly 3 times stronger than cowhide. So far, I've actually been using these for 3 months, and that 1 millimeter thick buffalo hide has destroyed the gloves that they would give me at work. So far so good. I ordered those for work around the house, but when these decided to kick the bucket, I decided to start using them first before I use these, because I know how good these are. I might just hold on to them until winter. Now, enough about a defunct company that you can no longer get gloves from. By the way, if you run across any of those ranch hand or DB8 gloves from Maroon Bell out there and there's a surplus somewhere, you let me know, because I'd like to get my hands on a few more of those. Even though I'm going to replace them with what I think are probably going to be better, I still really like those because they're Kevlar lined, and it's hard to find a good leather Kevlar lined glove out here in today's day and age. Okay, so the first contender that I'm going to try to replace my gloves with is Vermont Gloves. These are the Vermont Glove Flatlanders. Now, these are custom made to my hands. You can order them custom or you can order stock sizes, but I got mine custom. They are a beautiful hand-sewn, handmade gloves in the United States, in Vermont. They've been made in Randolph, Vermont since 1920. These are 3-ounce, full-grain goat leather. I've never had goat leather gloves before, so we're going to give those a try. They're handmade, they're hand-sewed, they're made in a net zero factory. I don't really know what that means. Maybe zero carbon footprint, not entirely sure. You can look that up. They are hand-stitched goat leather with heavy-duty nylon thread, inside glove seams, which is kind of a big deal because then you don't rub the threads through with the wire. Very maximally dexterous glove. Like I said, they have inside seams. The sewing's all on the inside, except for this one area here, but that's a double welt. Yeah, it's a double welt. They have a vein protector, which is a little bit thicker piece of leather here, so you don't cut your little wrist on whatever you might cut your little wrist on. They have a double welted palm for durability and longevity, and they have an additional welt right there. Additional welt on the second seam, and a 2-inch goat leather cuff with a seamless pointer finger. Oh, I didn't even realize that. Seamless pointer finger. Okay, it rolls off the side. Okay, and they have, like I said, custom sizing. They can repair these gloves. If you get a hole in them or a cut in them, they can replace parts of them. If you lose one, they can send you one, so you don't have to buy the single pair all the time. And the repair program is excellent. They'll patch these up and replace certain fingers and stuff. It's a pretty good program. I'm definitely gonna give them a good shot to be my next replacement. Now, the next contender is Sullivan Glove Company. They source American grade A hides in deer, elk, buffalo, goat, sheep, pig, and cow. The leathers are cut using decades-old form-fitting patterns. That's a mouthful. It gives each pair minimal seams for more comfort and less points of failure. Every point is hand-sewn in Bend, Oregon since 1941. In 1941, Edward Sullivan Gloves, began making gloves for shipbuilders during wartime. When the war was over, he relocated the entire company to Bend, Oregon because he wanted to be closer to where the deer hide availability was high. Originally, the company served as a hide house that would take in hides from local hunters and craft and tan them into gloves. The company has always remained family-owned and operated, and each generation of ownership works hard to preserve the traditions of American glove making. Now, the ones I decided to try from Sullivan's are actually from Nick's Boots. You can get these Sullivan gloves at Nick's Boots. These are the Nick's Wildland gloves, which are very close to the Sullivan Wildland Fire gloves. The only difference I've noticed so far is the actual Sullivan Wildland Fire gloves has another reinforced palm and the fingers in a rough out. Those will be my next ones if these ones don't make it very far, or I might just throw them in the mix. We'll see what happens. Like I said, these ones from Nick's Boots, they are Nick's Wildland gloves. They are made from a 4 to 5 ounce American elk leather. I've never had elk leather gloves, so this will be fun. Elk has a beautiful grain finish. It's kind of like buffalo, but not quite as pebbled. Requires very little maintenance and offers superior abrasion resistance to deer skin and tolerates moisture very well. This is the perfect glove. The perfect glove. For all-around work and for chores. It's a fantastic and perfect glove for working on the Fireline Hanger. That's what they're claiming. I'm going to put them through the work. I'm going to find out for myself. Again, Nick's Wildland Gloves by Sullivan Glove Company. we're going to see how they do against wire rope, also known as steel cable. So here we go again. There's the crappy gloves that my work sends me. We're not going to be using those. These were my Maroon Bell farm ranch hand gloves, no longer available. These were my DB8 first responder gloves, just beat down and tore to crap. These are the new ones that I can't replace, and I'll be holding off until winter to use these. Kevlar line, those were great. These are the Sullivan gloves from Nix, the Nix Wildland gloves. And these are the Vermont Glove Flatlanders, custom built for my big ass hands. I think they're going to be great. This came with my gloves from Sullivan. I'm sorry, from Vermont. And inside, there's a cleaning cloth, a care card that tells you what to do, a cleaning brush, a bottle of leather conditioner. That'll be interesting. And a thing of leather protector. And lastly, some glove soap, which I'm assuming is just saddle soap. And then again, it comes with this handy dandy carry case. It's all good. So I will be putting these gloves to work, and I will come back with you in another 6 to 9 months and let you know how everything's going. I might have a cleaning video from time to time to give you guys an idea of all this stuff from Vermont Glove. See how that all works out. See if it protects or prolongs the life of these gloves. If you've liked this video today, can you please like, comment, and subscribe? About 98% of the people who watch my videos are not subscribed, so it would really help if you guys would subscribe. In the description of this video and of my channel, there are some affiliate links. There should be some for the Sullivan gloves. There's also a Nix boots links. You can get the Wildland gloves from Nix if you go to the search bar on the Nix site and type in gloves. I should also possibly have an affiliate link for Vermont. I don't know if they'll be set up by then, but check my affiliate links. If you make any purchases through those affiliate links, the channel gets a little kickback, and it helps me to continue making this informational stuff, if you will. So either click on the links or don't click on the links. Enjoy the videos, enjoy the reviews. I'm going to do the work so you don't have to, so you can make an informed decision later. Once again, take care of your gear, and your gear will take care of you. Have a good day. Oh, and click on one of these videos and watch one of my others, or one of these links and watch one of my other videos. Have a good night.